This is an actual protocol from a real book, was published in 1923. And this is how people used to get their skin looking youthful and radiant over 100 years ago. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about a book that I found called The Art of Beauty. It was published in 1923 by Edna W., and it's broken down into different sections, which I love because it allows us to kind of look at what were the protocols back then for skincare. So I'm going to share with you some of the ones that I thought were really interesting, but also some that I thought could potentially work if we tried them out today. So I want to do these videos in a series because there's so much to cover. This particular book has so many great tips and advice and regimens and protocols that I think are relevant even today. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see a series on this. Let's jump into it. Before I show you the first protocol, I want to point something out about the book itself. It's written in a very interesting way. Right, it talks about women being wives. And it also uses a lot of language that today we might find offensive or just not appropriate. But the reason why I am choosing to still cover this material is because I want to share the evolution of beauty. And despite the language and the context of the time, it's really fascinating to learn how people used to approach skincare and beauty, and how that has changed over time. Let's jump into the first one. I am just gonna read exactly what it says in the book, and then I am gonna tell you what I think about it. Facial massage. Special facial exercises. Massage is beneficial to all except those whose skin is so dry that it cracks, and to those who have the oily skin which closes the pores so tightly that no amount of soap will cleanse them thoroughly. Massage should be practiced twice daily, morning and evening, after the application of the cleansing cream. Begin at the base of the nose and with upward strokes work toward the ears. From the ears, starting at the top, stroke downward along the lines of the cheeks to the corners of the mouth. Here you make a slight deposit of fat, which should never be allowed to remain too long on the face. Rub it out thoroughly before retiring. These movements should be repeated 3 times. After the massage, apply a good, nourishing cream and leave it on for 15 minutes. Then remove with tissue and wash the face thoroughly with cold water. Finish up with a good tonic and do not use soap. So, okay, I actually have a lot of thoughts on this because it's very interesting. Okay, so first it says that massage is good for everyone except those who have very dry skin or very oily skin. I agree with that because massage is good for circulation. It's good for lymphatic drainage, and of course it can help with fine lines and wrinkles. But you don't want to massage if your skin is too dry because you can cause irritation. And I believe that's why they recommend the cream beforehand. They're probably using that cream as an occlusive to prevent the skin from getting too irritated or too dry during the massage. And I also agree that if you have oily skin, massage is really good because it helps to drain the lymphatics and help reduce inflammation. Now the technique that it recommends is interesting because it does unrecommend starting at the top of the face and working downwards. It usually recommends starting at the bottom of the face and working upwards towards the top because you do want to pull the skin down. So it kind of goes against the direction of gravity, and it recommends starting at the base of the nose and then working upwards towards the ears. Then from the ears, starting at the top, stroke downward along the lines of the cheeks to the corners of the mouth. And then here you make a slight deposit of fat, which should never be allowed to remain too long on the face. Rub it out thoroughly before retiring. So this is interesting because when we think of massage, we usually think of using our fingers to massage. But here it's recommending using the entire face, using different parts of the face to massage other areas. So it's like using the cheek to rub against the ear, or using the nose to rub against the mouth. And I've actually seen some of this in facial massage techniques where they recommend pressing the base of the nose against the mouth and then moving upwards. So that's interesting. I wonder where these techniques come from. It then recommends applying a nourishing cream after the massage and leaving it on for 15 minutes, then remove with tissue and wash the face thoroughly with cold water, finish up with a good tonic, and do not use soap. So, overall, I like the idea of massaging. I think it's a great way to improve circulation and lymphatic drainage. However, I don't quite understand the technique that it recommends, and I'm not sure if I would recommend trying this at home. You could try it, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on your bones against each other, because you could cause bruising or irritation. I would instead stick to using your fingers, or maybe even using a gua sha tool to massage your face. That way you don't put any pressure on your bones. Okay, next one. This one is all about sun protection. In summer months, it is imperative that you wear a hat and gloves to protect yourself against the sun's rays. It is advisable to wear a veil, also to keep the dust off the face. When driving, wear glasses that will protect the eyes against the glare of the headlights. No face powder should be used. If possible, avoid all cosmetics and use only a good cold cream which will serve both as a foundation and as protection. In any event, it is advisable to apply a small quantity of cold cream to the hands, neck, and throat. All over the body, use a good body oil or cold cream. When indoors, however, you may use a little more powder, but not too much, and a rouge of a delicate shade, but not too bright. A little lipstick is permissible, but it is best to avoid cosmetics entirely while out of doors. So this is really interesting because back then they didn't have sunscreen. So the recommendation is to use cold cream as protection from the sun. Now, cold cream is basically like a heavy moisturizer. It's usually made of like milk and flour. And so what they would do is they would use it as a foundation and as protection from the sun. And they also recommended not using face powder. And if you were indoors, you could use a little bit more powder, but not too much, and a little bit of rouge and a little bit of lipstick. I find it very interesting because now we have come full circle. Now we are recommending not using makeup in the sun and using moisturizers with SPF as protection from the sun. So I guess this is like a really old school way of doing things. But I think the advice is sound because we now know that wearing makeup in the sun causes it to break down faster and it is not good for your skin. So this is a really interesting perspective on skincare. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.